Hi there, my name is Jory, or also known as Illusory on Instagram. I want to thank weDstll for inviting me to create this video for their platform and their viewers, as well as to share this with anyone else who wishes to watch this video. In sharing my story, I will discuss with you how I found my inner light and love that I've been able to exude from the inside out, and I hope to inspire anyone who watches this video as well as anyone in my journey. So I'll just start off by discussing who I am. As I've said, my name is Jory, and my handle or my alternative ego is Illusory. I identify, if I were to choose a label, as a gay cis male, but non-binary. In saying this, I just want to share with you that even though we've been told and conditioned by society that we must keep ourselves in a box or label ourselves as something, we definitely don't have to label ourselves as something or one thing. We can choose many different labels or shift our labels as we feel it resonates with who we are. And that's exactly why I've shared with you these different identities that I align with. As someone who's always been multifaceted, multidimensional, and a multi-creative essence style being, I don't feel that I can just use one definition of myself. Therefore, if you feel that you resonate with this, it may be constricting for you to choose one label, so don't feel pressured or conditioned by others. It's inside you to choose how you define yourself one way or a million ways. So my name is Jory, but with my handle Illusory, this actually references deeply down into this difference of titles and the breaking down of conditioning of society, as the word illusory, or with the root word illusion, it goes in line with my views on reality and society as we continue to break down the illusions of what we've been taught over the last millennium or two. And that we are and know so much more, and therefore, like myself, we can be whoever we want, we can learn to be whoever we want, and we are much more than we know, than we see, and that we may deem ourselves. So this handle does reference the illusions of the self and the reality of the conditioned society. Now, I just want to say a great thank you and express my utmost gratitude to weDstll for asking me to make this video today. It's something that I've been wanting to create for some time, and I definitely have ruminated and been, of course, going through my journey, which is ever changing, and I'm learning more and more each day, as we all are through our lives and our own journeys. Now, I'm really grateful because at a time like now, and from a app and platform such as weDstll, this perfectly aligns with who I am, who I've become, and how the world is changing, as well as our brands and consumers. This company, which is launching at the new age of consciousness and mindful consumers and brands, is completely aligned with who I am and how I think in the last year's time of transitioning into this new wave of conscious and mindful purchasing, consuming, and of course, knowledge of brands, as well as those of us who are either influencers or consumers that want to live a more conscious and or healthy lifestyle. So as I said, I'm completely aligned with this company, weDstll, as they're focused on a cohesive and collaborative community between consumers and or influencers and brands of natural means. Their notions are heavily weighted on inner beauty and working with products that don't change how you look, but simply enhance the way you look and feel from the inside out through natural and or conscious products. I'm not someone who wears makeup. However, I have always been conscious, at least for the last decade or so, of how I look, what I wear, and now even more so what I buy and what I put on my skin, of course. In the past, before I went through this transition in the last year, I was definitely a little more self-conscious of my image, and this was more of a dark time for me. However, I see everything as a learning experience through life, and so coming through this experience of coming out when I was 18 years old and going through these now 7 years since I came out up until today, where I've really come to see full circle at realizing there's so much beauty from the inside out, and that we can really manifest our reality through love and self-acceptance. One thing that was really hard for me going through this process, and even before I came out, was the social media generation had just sort of begun, and I was not in the right state of mind, nor did I feel and look like I really wanted to at the time. So social media, much alike the modeling industry for females, similarly for males, it was really hard and really, like I said, it was a dark time for me because I'd look at images, and being gay, I was attracted to those who maybe I didn't look like, but I wanted to, and I wasn't making the conscious effort yet to really find not only the love in myself, but make the changes so that I could form or transform into what I wanted to look like. Today, after all this time and a lot of hard work, I've finally begun to start not only loving the things that I'm maybe not as accepting of, or that maybe I was not in love with before, but I began to transform into the version of myself that I always dreamed of, that I would say that I spiritually manifested into reality. So I always loved fashion. This started for me when I was around like 12 or 13 years old with Ed Hardy. And I really began to love different graphics and labels, and it transformed into many different avenues of fashion, and it eventually became more so of a love of like avant-garde and couture and designer and luxury. And through this love of fashion and dressing in a way that made me feel good, it really actually helped influence my state of mind, and I then later gained the confidence to come out as I also began to find that essence within myself outwards, where I would share this essence of creativity from my soul in how I dressed. And it helped me gain that confidence to portray the truth that was hiding inside, that secret that I kept shut away for so long. So as I said, I came out 7 years ago, and it's just about 7 years to the day. I turned 18, and about a month later, on June the 20th, 2013, I came out to my family, and I had come out to a few people before, but that is the day, and it just passed the 20th of June, so it's been 7 years, and boy oh boy has there been a lot of change in my life since then. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of different fashion choices, weight loss, weight gain, weight loss again, and namely in the last year, a huge transition in my state of mind as well as body and soul. Deep down, I was still conflicted with all of this because of the social media generation, and I wasn't in good shape. I was fairly lazy at the time, and I was kind of eating not so great. However, before coming out, I started to make the transition into eating healthier and working out, and that really helped me gain some confidence and feel good in my skin. And then thereafter, I went into university, and I began making poor choices because you're in school, you want to go out, you want to do whatever you want, and so after a while, it caught back up to me, and again, like I got into a dark place. So deep down throughout this whole journey, it was really hard with social media. Even though I wanted to share and inspire others, I also wasn't clear on what I wanted to do and what I was sharing. And it really injected a lot of messages into my mind that I just didn't look the way that I should. Then eventually, when I came out, I realized that it's not completely about how you look or who you love and who you are, and sexuality doesn't define you, nor does gender, which I learned later. But truly, it's what's inside that matters most. And if my friends or family loved me and supported me, then they would understand and accept me for who I was. And after realizing this and coming out, it was hard. It was like going over a roller coaster, like at the top drop and going down really fast, and your stomach going into your head and your heart going into your stomach, and it was like crazy. But I did it and I never looked back. Those that really, in fact, all of those that I was close with accepted me and loved me for who I was. But that was only the beginning of finding the love inside of myself and really living an authentic and fulfilling life. So over the years, going through many experiences, I've truly transformed, especially in the last year, as I've mentioned. Each experience I've gone through, including some really dark times and relationships that weren't really fulfilling to my soul, really I see all of those experiences, whether good or bad, as positive and a learning experience. In fact, as a blessing. I definitely would say to all of you that maybe have gone through some hard times or going through some changes right now, that you should try and look at the experience from another perspective and see that there's actually a lesson to be learned through that. And one of the main lessons through these relationships that I went through is that I really was maybe overdoing it with the love I was giving, and I wasn't loving myself enough and fulfilling myself enough. I was trying to give to so many others instead of giving to myself, and I lost myself along the way, and I was never happy. I was never satisfied. Through this journey, one of the choices I made was in university, I had decided to study communications and fashion, and I started my own fashion blog called Sass and Leather. And this was a great avenue for me to really showcase and exude the person I was and the things I loved. So leather representing handbags, which after coming out, I had always loved handbags, and it was finally like my gateway to adorn these things that I maybe before was afraid or cautious of because I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. And it's something that a lot of men do carry, wear, or make fashionable, and it's now become in fashion for straight men to wear bags. But at the time it was still like becoming more fashionable and more acceptable. And that's something that really helped me define that non-binary gender and dress how I wished. And the sass part was my attitude, my essence, my vibe. I was a sassy, spunky, fun, silly guy. Definitely not always the positive form of sassy, but you know, it was a part of who I was and this essence that I was offering to my friends and people around, and just like, it was really in line with the times. However, as the years passed, I realized that something was missing from this, and I went through like 4 or 5 years of blogging, through finishing university, realizing like, what's next? What am I gonna do? And I slowly also started to fade from my love of fashion and realized that there was probably something else that I wanted to try or experience. In that, I decided to stop blogging and do some contemplation on what was next for me. I really felt like I wanted to do something that would change the world, inspire others, and fulfill my heart and soul more than shopping and dressing up and taking photos of was doing for me. Not that it wasn't awesome and fun, but I realized that there was more for me to explore, and I really wanted to expand my conscious and mindful self. So just over 1 year ago, it's when I really delved into my spiritual journey and transformation and found so much more than what I had known before. So some of the things that completely changed my life and really shifted my journey forward were finding the ancient knowledge of Kabbalah, which is, in the language of Hebrew, it means to receive. And in essence, it's just knowledge of how to navigate your life in a more mindful and conscious way that really hones in on the laws of the universe and karma and positivity over negativity, etc. It's super eye-opening, and it's also in line with a lot of other mystical knowledge, so it's not limited, but it is extremely powerful. As well, I also discovered yoga, which was both healing for my mind as well as my body, tying in the soul aspect through the meditative flow that it was. And I had suffered from body pain and being lazy and not so active for the majority of my life. I knew that there was something wrong, and seeing physio and chiro and doing other kinds of medical assessments over the years, I realized that something was missing, and I was recommended to start taking yoga, which completely changed my life about a few weeks or a month after I started studying Kabbalah. Finally, one other aspect that extremely changed my entire journey for the better was switching to an organic and vegan diet. And this is mainly also because I had suffered from gut issues for the majority of my life, and I wasn't putting in good food or being conscious of what I was putting into my body. And making this choice not only was a positive change for me, but also has positively impacted those around me as they learn from my choices, and it has also positively impacted the environment, the ecosystem, the world, and the lives and well-being of animals. So I'm really happy and grateful that I made this change, and it has been a trifecta of positive change in my life. Making these three incredibly hard yet powerful choices has positively impacted and shifted my life in a direction of growth and truly finding so much more love from the inside out, as I've realized deeper what my true purpose is through making these choices and through living a life of health and well-being as my lifestyle. It has also deepened my connectivity to the world and with others, and truly it was magical. Now, during these times that we have been forced to, of course, self-isolate for many months, even though things are beginning to open, I have really taken the time to work through a lot of my old traumas and different things that were underlying the surface of what I thought was okay, as well as being super creative in many different ways, contemplating and working on many new business opportunities and creative projects that have provided so much more fulfillment and essence to my soul. My ultimate goal through all of this is to share the wisdom that I've learned over this past year, as well as through my journey in life, and continue to learn and share more so that others may be inspired to do the same, making a conscious and mindful shift in their own lives so that they can live in a much more happy and healthy way than what many of us have grown up just getting by or living by what society has told us is right, or buying the products that we think are right for us, not products that are either natural or organic or consciously crafted, environmentally friendly, take into consideration the working conditions, the wages, and the state of being for those that are manufacturing these products. So by continuing to learn as well as sharing sharing this knowledge, it's allowing me to help myself share with you the way to truly live the most authentic life and allow the most authentic version of yourself to shine with love and magic, that you can also empower others and inspire them to do the same, enabling us all to live amazing lives. It's truly a shockwave effect, and I've learned from so many people who have gone through the same experiences. Beyond sexuality, I am so grateful that I have this flowing gender that I don't put in a box as one or the other. I mean, I look male, I am a guy. However, I am so blessed that I have this female essence too that I can share with others, that they can use to inspire and open up their creative, loving, open-minded self. It doesn't matter if you're gay or straight, if you're male or female or non-binary. I sure hope that anyone seeing this video who might be uncertain of where they lie on the spectrum of gender or sexuality realizes that it doesn't matter where you lie, but if you're not letting your true colors shine, then you're not allowing your true love and acceptance of yourself be. So as sad and crazy and tough as these times are, especially in the last few weeks, I believe that there has been a magical opportunity presented to us here that we can do so much more in terms of work and researching and learning and exploring and finding the acceptance within ourselves, that we can realize that deep down underneath who we look and who we are, that we are all the same people at the core. And no matter what, by realizing that you are just a beautiful essence of love, that you too can support anyone and vice versa. It's all a collective community, and this community of weDstll is exactly all about that. So one question I was asked to answer is, what does Pride Month mean to me? And truly, it's so much more than a month. It's really a state of mind and a lifestyle. It's not just about being proud. It's about being conscious. It's about being aware. It's about being loved, and it's about being acceptance for all. It's a time to remember, to reflect, and to be so grateful. It's not just a time to be proud of who you are, who you love, wear whatever you want, share your stories with free will and freedom of speech, but it's also a time you can use to inspire and empower others, that they can use this love to find the confidence from within and let it shine out, enabling us to exude it to others and in essence realize that we all are the same people and we are all a collective. As we realize we are all the same at the core, wanting to share and receive love, acceptance, support, and now a deeper meaning and knowledge of what is meaningful, unique, or inspiring to others. It's pride, but it's love for all. If we can all tap into that inner love within and love thy neighbor as thyself, releasing any judgment, hate, ostracism, fear, doubt, jealousy, or any negative emotion, and transmute that into positive notions of love and acceptance, our world shall continue to be a better place. So my message here to share is that if I can do it, you can do it too. Remember that at the core, you are a being of love, and no matter what you're going through, no matter where you are, how old you are, what you look like, what your gender or sexual preference is, what the color of your skin is, what language you speak, what religion or race you are, and what opinion or belief you may have. It doesn't matter, because at the core, we're all one people, and we all need to come together and support each other and be proud of who we are and our stories and our experiences, and use them so that we can grow and define ourselves from the traumas and the experiences that we've gone throughout our lives. So I want to say thank you to weDstll for allowing me to share this message, my story and journey here about coming out and about going through this transition and how we can find the inner beauty and love and share it with others so that we can be proud, not just this month, but always. Wishing you all a happy Pride Month, happy summer, and happy times. Make sure that you find the love within yourself. Check on someone who probably needs it or that you haven't spoken to in a while, and become more conscious of the brands that you buy, the clothes that you wear, the food that you eat, and even the people that you talk to. Because in doing so, you're gonna be making positive changes to your entire life for the better of yourself and others around you. Thank you for watching, and namaste.